It was Tropical Cyclone Errol. It was a Category 4 system yesterday, but it's undergone a good bit of weakening, but it's racing towards the coast. So I thought we'd better check in with the Bureau of Meteorology to get the latest. And Senior Meteorologist Angus Hines pulled the short straw for us this morning. G'day, Angus, and happy long weekend, mate. Errol, this one, small system, kind of sprung up pretty quickly. What's the latest with where it's at?
Yeah, morning Nate, happy Easter everyone. Errol, that's right, Tropical Cyclone Errol north of Western Australia was Category 4 as you say yesterday, but it's undergone quite a lot of decaying overnight last night. So it's now down to a Category 2, but I think in the next update of the warnings and the forecasts which are coming out due in about the next half hour's time, it's probably going to be a Category 1 tropical cyclone because we have continued to see it really break apart and lose its formation as we track it on the satellite imagery. So it's quite quickly dropping in intensity, and ultimately that is good news because it means by the time it reaches the country it's not perhaps going to be as strong as it could have been. So it is still tracking towards that northern WA coastline. It's likely to arrive on the Australian mainland, potentially on the Dampier Peninsula, which is north of Broome in the Kimberley, potentially sometime this evening around about 5 o'clock local time out there in WA as either a Category 1 tropical cyclone, or it may even continue to decay and break apart, and if that happens it will be back to what we call a tropical low on our weather maps. And a tropical low is kind of like a weak tropical cyclone. Even if it does weaken off towards that tropical low kind of strength, it will still bring a really notable amount of rainfall to that area, mostly north of Broome and the Kimberley. Certainly could see 100 to 200 millimetres of rain in about 24 hours from maybe midday today to midday tomorrow, and there will probably be some thunderstorms in there which could bring pockets of even heavier falls. So for those communities north of Broome, definitely a weather system to be aware of. There will be some wind, there will be some rain as well coming in today and sticking through the night before starting to fade away tomorrow. And
you've got another low in the Gulf of Carpentaria. How concerned do we need to be about that?
Yeah, we do. This has been a really interesting one because we've been tracking it for a while, but it's been really hard to pin down exactly where this one's going to go and what its chances are of strengthening to become a powerful weather system. The most recent information we've been getting in overnight suggests actually maybe it does have a bit of a chance of strengthening into a tropical cyclone. It's far from a sure thing at the moment, but there's a low north of the top end of the Northern Territory moving into the Gulf of Carpentaria today and tomorrow, and it's now been assessed as a moderate chance, about 35% chance of strengthening into a tropical cyclone during the weekend, Saturday, Sunday being the key days here. It's quite interesting because on Monday we see quite a shift in the atmosphere, so if it doesn't happen by Sunday it's very unlikely to happen after that. So really watching over the course of the next few days to see how the system develops, and again it could really bring some really powerful rainfall to parts of the Gulf Coast. That could be Cape York Peninsula, that could be Gulf Country, that could be the eastern top end in the Territory. All of those all of those coastlines, on the Gulf Coast waters should be keeping an eye on the system through the course of the weekend, and hopefully it doesn't blow up and become too significant.
Long weekend's meant to be a time to relax, Angus. You're bringing us, well, the weather's bringing us so much to keep an eye on. Hey, more generally, and just give us, kind of the through unfocused eyes look at what can the rest of the country expect over the long weekend.
Yeah, look, for most people it's going to start off really nice and bright. So for today we've got mostly sunny, warm and bright conditions through Queensland, New South Wales, ACT, Victoria, South Australia, Northern Territory, Tasmania a little cloudier with some patchy rain, and we do see a few storms in parts of the west as well. The general trend is going to be quite a shift in conditions across southern Australia during the long weekend. So we head from mostly sunny and quite hot to a lot cloudier, quite a lot cooler with the chance of some rainfall. Not heaps of rain, but a little bit of rain around South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales as well. That'll either be arriving on Sunday or Monday depending on where you live. So certainly the first half of the long weekend is the time to get out, do those outdoor chores, get in the garden, whatever it happens to be, because that's when it's brightest and sunniest.